So it's the moment everybody's been waiting for. So,
Philly cheesesteak.
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
About to be a fight.
Well,
Probably with all y'all mad at us.
yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Oh no.
We're outsiders, so I don't know how this is gonna
We're
work.
gonna get canceled.
That's what.
Your Opinion Stinks opens the conversation on a hot button business topic.
And flips it on its head.
Hosted by a wellness coach
And a business coach.
we break down conventional business
While building entrepreneurs up for success.
Who will you agree with?
Welcome to Your Opinion Stinks, coming to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tim. Thank you as always for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, hit the alert button so you'll be notified of new episodes. If you're listening on the podcast side, iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, hit the subscribe button and auto download. So that way you have it directly in your device. And join our awesome group. It's made for you. A whole bunch of cool stuff in it. And it's totally free. So the EuropeanStinks.com /uplift. I swear I produce a lot of stuff. I can't get it right. Don't worry. After we say this a few times, I will have it perfect. But yes, EuropeanStinks.com /uplift.
Yay. You did it.
I'm gonna get it right.
I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I
You're
love you
really
too.
good at
Yeah.
this.
You're nice.
I really appreciate you doing the intro and outro. It's so nice. You're a nice man.
Well, let's talk about what's really nice.
Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So last week, while filming from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we talked about chicken sandwiches. This week, we are talking about Philly cheesesteaks.
Yes.
And you guys are going to get really mad at us.
You've been warned. Spoiler alert. This is not favorable to some.
Please don't get mad.
If you flame us, it's understandable, but we prefer if you don't.
Passionate, fun debate, no problem.
Yeah.
If you haven't, we actually want to hear if this triggers you and you get.
Yeah, let us know.
just we like you guys, so don't come at us too hard.
Yeah. Don't come at me, bro.
Don't come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Can't take it.
All right, so go ahead.
So this week, Philly cheesesteaks have inspired us to talk about building buzz
Yep.
for your product
Or service.
or service.
Yep.
Because the buzz about town and about the nation and probably about the world is when you come to Philly, you gotta have a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes. And if you do the Philly cheesesteak, it's either Pat's or Geno's.
Right.
Those are like your starting points.
Now, I still have had neither,
Yeah.
but Tim has had both. He had both on the same day
Yes.
because they're right across the street.
Which I did not know. I was pleasantly surprised to walk to Pat's and then look across the street and like,
Hey,
that's Geno's. So yeah.
I've seen
they
that
are.
on TV. You think they look across the street and just scowl at each other?
I was wondering if there is a cheesesteak etiquette. Like you can't walk across the street with the other person's cheesesteak. I went and I put I got Pat's first and then I put it in the car and then I went over to Geno's because hey, this isn't my
You
area.
ain't trying to start a fight.
So I don't know how this goes.
Make a fuss.
But yeah.
You walk over there with the other cheesesteak, they go, You coming over here to get another cheesesteak when you got that cheesesteak? Why you coming over here with that cheesesteak? I don't think you need to be over here with that cheesesteak.
So
You trying to start some stuff?
I didn't want to risk it. Just a lot of miles away from DC.
standing in line with another cheesesteak. Everybody looking.
So yeah, I bought cheesesteaks with caution.
With caution.
Yeah.
And okay, why don't you tell us about how you got the cheesesteaks, what you got on them, and how you liked the cheesesteaks.
Oh, let's see. Wow, lightning is just
I'm
wow.
scooting. For those of you just listening, I'm scooting away.
I'm not afraid, so I'll do it. All right, so I went over to Pat's first because that was the aim, to go to Pat's, and I was gonna go to Gino's another day because I figured it was in a different part of town. So went to Pat's, and they have a sign that tells you how to order.
Yes.
And I sent you a picture of that.
Sign.
So I was already intimidated and scared.
There are a lot of rules.
I know there was a thing about how to do it. Like when I did research prior to coming up here, and it talked about the whole thing of just going there and how you do your order, because it happens like quickly. So here's the big thing.
It's not even like Starbucks, because you can go into Starbucks and say the half cap, double cap, and they have to know what you mean. But if you walk in like, I want a small, like, something sweet, and they still help you. They don't kick you out of line.
Yeah. It's clearly said if you're not ready, you can practice your order, but have to go back at the end of the line.
You can find yourself at the end of the line again.
But luckily, the time of day that we got there, it was before lunch, so there was no one there. So I had time to mentally prepare for it. But the big thing is Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz.
And the way you order is either you're ordering it with onions or without onions. So if you're having a traditional cheesesteak, is whiz wit, which means whiz wit onions, or it's whiz without, which is a cheesesteak without onions. So I just wanted to make it easy on life, and I just like whiz wit. No, you can have prove and all that.
What do you say, prove wit?
I don't know.
Oh, see, that wasn't on the sign.
I wanted it completely as close to whatever I can order and not feel foolish, and that was it. So I went with it.
Back of the line,
I didn't want the dude to come around the corner and with the billy club and just whatever image of Philadelphia I have. But no.
Banned.
Yeah. Like no cheesesteak for you.
Come back 1 year.
So then I went to Pat's and I ordered a cheesesteak. I ordered whiz wit.
Whiz wit.
And dude hands me a sandwich like perfectly wrapped in the paper and slides it to me. Pay cash. You're out the door. So I felt very accomplished. Like I did something amazing in life. And then, like I said, I put it in the car. And then I walked across the street to Gino's and I ordered the same thing. Because I wanted to have a side-by-side comparison with nothing extra. I've been told many different ways to order a cheesesteak, but I wanted it to have it as traditional as possible. So, I'm in this room that we're in, and I just go for one bite on each. And there is differences between the two. For me, like the Pat's one appeared to have more steak than the Gino's one. The Gino's one had a better bun. I don't even know if you call it a bun. I know it's a hoagie roll.
Starting fights between them too, not just
So that was like a bit more tasty than the other one. At the end of the day, and this is where probably you guys are gonna flame, and it's okay. I was not impressed on either side. And I felt bad because
these are dry.
Oh man. In one comment, someone asked me who was the best one. I said water and mayonnaise one. Man. So the people that are residents here who do this like almost every day, it seems, gave me like 11 different other places other than Pat's and Gino's. It's like, it's a tourist trap to go there. That's not where you go to get it.
Yeah.
And even in a baby shower we attended, we were told like 2 other places. So now that's like 13 places to go other than Pat's and Gino's. That for some reason or another, I'm just gonna have to like tackle each, like every day that I'm on set or something.
So
I need to go.
But you need to ask. You need to start asking. All right, how does this place make them? Because is it gonna be the same thing where I can only get cheese whiz and onions?
No. They have lists of toppings you can add on these things. Like one person told me, the way to order it is
At
with
a
whiz.
different place.
No, just in
at-
general.
Okay.
With whiz, and mushrooms.
Oh, you could get mushrooms.
Yeah,
the sign didn't say anything about mushrooms.
No, you have to look at the toppings list.
Oh.
There's tons of stuff. There's many ways you can make it, but in any instance,
It's hard.
the whole thing of going to Pat's and Gino's was because there was this big, historical, legendary life behind getting the cheesesteaks, and as with anything being a tourist that's out of your world, you want to experience the depth and breadth of the place that you're in.
Yeah.
And the depth and breadth of Philly is the cheesesteak. I went to the place and I was like, is this all?
Is this all there is?
Yeah. That was it. So yeah. So
And in Timothy's defense, a big challenge, especially around food, if that's the thing you're known for, what you're up against is what a tourist grew up with. So in Timothy's defense, I'm sure I wouldn't have liked it either. Because for me, a really good cheesesteak is it's got the beef, the thin sliced beef, and you got the provolone cheese on top of the grilled onions and the grilled, you can take or leave the grilled peppers, and then the mushrooms, and it's all grilled up nice and seasoned well, and then you got the lettuce and tomato with extra tomato and extra mayo, and it's dripping all down your arm, and you get the salt on it.
So
I don't want any cheese whiz.
all right, I'm not gonna come at Philly with the cheese whiz because on paper it was weird. On paper it was weird, but it actually adds something to it. So I'm not gonna take anything away from that. With that being said, on one of our trips up to Pennsylvania, because we came up here for a couple of events a few years ago, there was like this corner store spot, and it was like this, not a bodega, but kind of a bodega, and we got cheesesteaks from there, and it was amazing. So what that tells me is sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes, because then that opens up the opportunity to be let down, which leads us to our actual lessons, because we were talking about food, but no, there's business concepts in all of this.
So is.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just kind of just thinking about a cheesesteak right now.
Well, you know, we'll see what we can do before.
I wanted to go to that salad place. I'm supposed to be good.
Well,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. So that leaves us talking about buzz. Building buzz, and then the hype machine. This kind of is like a part 2 of what we talked about the previous week with Popeyes and Chick-fil-A.
Popeyes.
So there's something kind of strange, refreshing, and optimistic about legend, about being known for something. Like McDonald's. If you mention McDonald's, the first thing that comes to mind for me is the fries. Like, even though it's the hamburger, the fries is like the legendary thing. Like, there's nothing else like it anywhere else that I could think of.
Yeah, those are unique fries.
When I think of
Wendy's?
business training, no.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm moving off of food.
Moving on from
I'm moving off of food.
Oh, okay.
All right, when I think of business training, like one of the things that comes to mind that built this really great buzz about themselves is Mastery. I love what they're doing with their marketing. I think of Brian Tracy. I think of Robert Kiyosaki. And like these are like legendary brands. And when it all comes together, there's a certain expectation of what that brand is and how it serves you. So when we think about it as entrepreneurs, we're thinking about what do we stand for? What are people buying from us, you know? And then it comes to, okay, how do we keep in line with what that brand is? Like when you think between Target and Walmart, they're both department stores, they both sell, you know, goods and all that. But the brand of Walmart is cheap.
Yeah, it means something different than Target.
It's cheap, discounted prices. When you think of Target, it's
Target.
It's
the
like
nicer stuff, and you pay more, and you buy way more than you intended, but at least it's really nice.
Yeah. And nothing is inherently wrong on either side of the brands. It's just the brand is an insignia of what you're expecting to get.
Yeah.
And when I think of these cheesesteaks, the brand is that it's cheap food, but it's the soul of the area.
Philly.
Yeah. Like you're buying Philly in a bite.
Yeah, Philly in a bite.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
And when we look at it from a business standpoint, whatever is our signature product or service, that is what we hang our hat on. That is what people are buying into. And we as entrepreneurs have to ensure that our brand stays firm to that, and we try to live up to the image that we're projecting, because we're consistently putting out marketing messages as to who we are, what we do, and who we serve. And sometimes we can do such a good job of having that message go beyond our borders that all of a sudden we have to deal with the possibility that our legend is bigger than what we actually deliver.
Well,
it's expectations.
That it's big. So you're saying that the cheesesteak brand that those two places are selling is bigger than what they deliver?
For me, on a personal level, I say yes. Like I went with the expectation that whatever I bought in our local area, which is an imitation of the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, it's not even
the Philly cheesesteak has to be so much better than this.
Right.
Like, because of them being on TV for like cooking shows, because of the articles written, because of the listicles, you know, all this other type of information, it's like this thing is the epicenter of this particular product.
And you're saying that that's a flaw of, like, that's an unintended problem that they have?
I think so.
I don't know about that. I think food in particular is just one of those things that you're beholden to the tourist's upbringing. So we grew up on a different kind of fake Philly sub.
Yeah.
It's not really for us. Like, we're older and I still haven't had one yet. You had it for the first time a week ago.
Yeah.
It's not for us. It's for all those people who go there all the time and love it. And then it's for all the people who they tell about it and all their kids that also grow up on it. It's for all of them. I don't know that it's an unintended problem. It's just the buzz worked. It's just not for us.
But what does that say on the whole as far as us as entrepreneurs? Are we, because I can gravitate to the idea and the process of making something for a certain group of people, and that's all fine and dandy. But then there's the time where it hits the tipping point.
Okay.
And once it reaches critical mass,
Yeah.
then you're now unintentionally offering your product or service to people you didn't intentionally make it for in the beginning.
Sure, and they'll...
It's like Facebook. Facebook was originally made for colleges, for college students, but it grew so big, it hit critical mass, and then now it's for everybody.
Yeah.
What do we
Okay.
do then?
Well, either you adapt and you just embrace this new type of customer you have and do your best to serve all those people who are enthusiastic about your product or service, or you have a different vision for what you wanted it to be and it's turned into something else and maybe you sell it, or it's turned into something else. I've been a part of some software as a service things, and it started to morph into this other thing, and the company was like, yeah, we don't really want it to be that. And so they're like, you know what, we're cutting out these services, we hope you stay. And a lot of people stayed, and other people got really pissed off and left.
Yep.
And now they have their core people. Like, I think it's about balancing who you are as a company and what you want to be in the world, and who you want to serve, and keeping your clients and customers happy.
So, if I'm hearing you right, outside of you already mentioning that the cheesesteak wasn't meant for tourists,
And you know, they're probably, I don't know what their, it's another thing I'd like to see the numbers. I don't know what percentage of their business is tourists, but I imagine it's fairly low.
I would imagine that is
That
probably
this is
low.
a locals thing.
I mean, if we're using Pareto's rule, the whole 80-20 thing,
Sure.
then yeah, then it wouldn't
20%
be
tourists, 80%.
well,
I
that
grew
wouldn't-
up on this, and
That wouldn't be it. It would mostly be 80% of the profits come from 20% of your customers, and that 20% would probably end up being the locals.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're doing that. Got it.
yeah. But I'm intrigued by that because, you know, we think about the whole thing of making something for your core audience, your core target demographic, and then there would be spillover. Because I mean, in marketing, that's what we typically do. We will target for a specific group of people, a segment, and if it tips into a certain age bracket we didn't anticipate, that's fine. If we tip into a gender that's unintentional, that's fine. If we tip into another interest or whatever, that's all fine. But we're still aiming
Yes.
for this one particular person.
Yes.
Thinking about that for like the cheesesteak, this is where I kind of have a difference of opinion on it. It's not every day that you have an urban legend for your product or service. Like the whole thing of the original cheesesteak, that claim is Pat's. They have it on their wrapping and everything. And then the best cheesesteak is what they have for Geno's. So like while Pat's is like the king of steak, I think that's what they called. I think it's called Pat's King of Steaks. They have this moniker in their brand. They have this identity in their brand. And then Geno's is Geno's, you know? And so the whole thing of living up to that and growing that legend then opens up the door for, well, what happens the day that you don't live up to it? Like me coming up here and having this grand idea of having this awesome experience and then having to go to my fridge and get the mayo and slap it on. It's like, oh man.
No, but Pat's and Geno's, they are living up to it for most of the people who go there and love it all the time. It's not living up to, you just have a different idea of what a cheesesteak is. That's not their fault. This isn't for you. You better go down to the bodega.
I wish I could find it. Oh man. I think it's somewhere near the airport hotels, but I don't feel like venturing to do that. But with all that being said, like I think the lesson beyond the cheesesteaks is just the whole thing of what we do in order to get people to know us. And like it's kind of the framework that we have of like, love, buy, repeat. Like the person who tries the cheesesteak, they, you know, it's interest and intrigue, curiosity that gets them to try it. Then they like it. Then they come at it again, and then all of a sudden it becomes the thing that they love, right? And at this point now, there's already a relationship. That's the buying process. And then you just keep buying. You keep buying. You keep buying. And then you start telling other people, and they start to you know, you take your influence into trying the cheesesteak. Well, this is where I get tripped up. Coming up here, I talked to native Philadelphians, and they're like, that's just not where you go.
Yeah.
So what does that say about the product?
It says it's not for them either. It says you found the people in Philadelphia for whom that sandwich is not for.
Okay.
And they know where to send you for you to get the version that you
All
want.
13 other places.
All 13 other places. But like, I don't think it says anything. As long as they keep serving at a high level to the people who love their sandwiches, they're set. They're golden. Because all those people are going to keep bringing people, all those people are going to keep bringing their kids, and then you have all these kids growing up with this product, and it's just this cycle. It becomes an institution, and it'll keep being a thing. It's like the pizza when we went to Connecticut, when I was in school in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And we went to the little bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And you were like, where should we go to eat? And like, let me tell you where to go get some pizza. And we're like, oh, wow, this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get some good pizza, pizza. He's like, people stand in line for this pizza. And we're like, wow, people stand in line for the pizza? And so we stood in line for the pizza.
Yeah. I remember this.
And it was all right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But you know why it was all right? Because it wasn't for us. We grew up on DC stupid pizza that is not real pizza.
Yeah.
If it at that time, if it wasn't Pizza Hut with the thick crust and it's all buttery and like way too bready. I don't know how I loved it at the time. It was so bready and buttery and that's not what that pizza was. It wasn't for us. But all those people up there love that pizza and will stand in line.
It had clams on it, right?
Yeah, you did put something weird on it.
Yeah.
That I didn't want.
I remember that.
So that didn't help.
Yeah.
But it was also not that great.
Yeah. So I guess what we can take from this is when we're, you know, putting out our products and services and we're finding ways to get the messaging out, whether we're using, you know, traditional media, new media, creating word of mouth campaigns, doing press releases, you know, all this other type of stuff, to podcasting, YouTube, all this, to bring about awareness of what we do. We should be prepared to really focus on the people that we want to serve and have that be our primary focus. And if there's anyone else that comes in, you know, on the side.
Yeah, and wants that kind of experience, great. But I would think, I suspect you agree with this, there's going to be that person, especially if you're in a service industry, for whom you find this really isn't a good fit. And the ethical thing to do is to acknowledge that. Don't just take the person's money and leave them unhappy.
Right.
It's better to say, you know what, you could get this, but I really don't think it's right for you.
Right.
This other thing might be better, or I don't think this is the right time for you. And that gesture, I mean, you shouldn't do it to get something, because I think it's just right to do that. But also, that can come back at you, because I mean, you're leaving that person feeling like, man, that's really cool. They didn't just want to take my money. They knew I probably shouldn't do this, and I appreciate that. And that person is going to go tell someone else, and maybe that person is the one like, hey, but that's what I need. You know.
So there's someone out there that feels like that cheesesteak is not for them, but it might be good for someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. I can work within that. I will say this: the cheese whiz on the cheesesteak, actually pretty good. So Philly, you got that right.
I don't like cheese whiz.
It's not something that I would have on everything, but in this application,
You like nachos.
I do like nachos, but
Cheese
I like nacho cheese, not cheese whiz.
Oh, that's right. You don't like cheese whiz. How did you like it?
It
On that, it
in this
worked.
application it worked.
Oh, gosh, I wasn't even thinking of the right thing. Like, I really don't like cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz, you guys are okay in my book. It's just not made for me.
See, not for me.
So, yeah, we'll make a recommendation to someone who loves cheese whiz and tell them cheese whiz is great.
You know, I just want some cheese that has a weird texture and maybe tastes like plastic.
Why are you
whiz.
Why are you going in on cheese whiz? Wow.
You know what you need. Cheese whiz.
Oh, that's so bad. Leave cheese whiz alone. It's like Tennessee, man. You just got to go in on it.
Oh, why you got to bring up Tennessee, man?
Because of that same energy was there.
It is the same energy
It's
as
just-
Tennessee, man.
It's just
I
bad.
must be in the... people are sassy up here. Maybe that sassy.
Oh, you're starting to get that Philly energy?
That Philly sass.
What the hell is all this?
I don't know. It's the way people drive. They're sassy up here in the driving. Sassy driving.
Sassy driving in Philly. Amazing. Yeah, so I think I feel comfortable in working with that. That you make your product and service to fit who you're targeting, and if someone else loves what you do, then they go into it, and if they don't, then it's not for them, and they find someone else to serve. Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. So
I think that's good.
cool. Then we're wrapping.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That worked out.
Senor.
Cool. Thank you guys, as always, for being a part of this journey we like to call Your Opinion Stinks. And if we were to say if there was an opinion about something that we felt stinks, I'm not going to say that. All right. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit the alert button for new episodes that's coming up. If you're listening on iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, don't forget to subscribe there and hit the auto download so you have it directly on your device. And join our awesome group that's made specifically for you as a business creator, business owner, or whatever position you hold at youropinionstinks.com/uplift. I am Tim.
I'm Tunisia, and remember, opinions are not facts. Do your research and have fun in the fight. Bye-bye.